Hello everybody, I am making a storm build guide for Anthem. I know this game has been not very well received, but I've been enjoying it, and I feel like if I didn't have social media, I would actually really like this game. The only time I ever really get disappointed is if I go over to the subreddit on a bad day. So I feel like BioWare is improving, and I feel like we're heading to the right spot. So, for those of you that are playing Anthem and enjoying it and are playing Storm, I have a quick guide for you, basically what's been pretty effective for me. So I will just get started, and if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I also have a build over on the Reddit. If you have any questions there, we can leave them in the comments there too. And hopefully we can start with what I have here, and then maybe we can work on some improvement too. But anyways, so this build is based on combos exclusively. So I'm only worried about priming targets and then hitting a combo. So in order for us to do that, I'm using a Roundner's Blaze. I've been crafting Roundner's Blazes a lot. I'm trying to get flat damage, ult damage, but basically, we're going to be priming with Roundner's Blaze because after 5 shots, it doesn't matter if you do damage to the enemy or not. So like if you shoot the shield, it'll still prime them, and then you hit the combo. As you hit combos, you build up your ultimate bar, and then you do ultimates, and you wash, rinse, and repeat. So the bread and butter of this build is Roundner's Blaze. I got this one right now because it gives me 25% luck, and then the other one is Chaotic Rhyme. It's legendary, so that's the one I'm using. So as far as anything else goes, I'm just using things that will give me flat damage, ult damage, and of course I'm trying to hit 89% luck. There's a lot of controversy behind luck. People want to get rid of it. People think it's if you go up, it goes up to 90. A dev even posted about it, and luck is just up in the air. I am at 88% luck right now, and that's what's most effective for me. And so that's what I've been going with, and I'll just wait until somebody tells me otherwise. Um, but as far as components go, I'm just looking for straight item level, just power. So I've got my Gunslinger's Mark, all of this, like the inscriptions on these are garbage, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter to me. I just got this one, and I think the Amulet of Winter and Mark of Ruin are bugged. I don't know if they're even providing any bonuses. There's some stuff over on the Reddit if you guys are curious, but it doesn't really matter. I don't care what these do as long as they're power level 75 or as long as they're legendary. And the reason for that is because your combos and your ultimate scale off of your item level. So if I was going for huge damage, I would probably remove my support seal because it is an epic. Legendaries and masterworks don't exist for these, but I'm still equipping it because it gives me 23% luck, and I don't really care about doing big damage because I usually end up playing with other people who end up doing the combos for me. So Blast Seal, I'm using Ponder Infinity. It's got 40% luck, and I do use this to combo, but it doesn't really matter what it is here. If you have somebody who is comboing for you, then you can go with any other primer as well. But the trick is that it's between ice and fire. So you could go Winter's Wrath, and that would be fine too. But I'm using this in case I end up finding myself solo, and it also gives me 40% luck. But yeah, the bread and butter, like I said, Roundner's Blaze and Chaotic Rhyme. So I'm going to jump into some gameplay, and then I'll show you guys how everything works, and maybe get into some other techniques to share as well. Okay, so sorry for the bad editing, but I missed out some parts when I ended up watching the other video, so there was a couple things that I missed. First thing, when I mentioned removing the support seal, that's going to be patched, but basically there are two different item levels. You have your base item level, the 774 up at the top, and then you actually have like another item level that is calculated based on the items that you have equipped, divided by the So it's the power level of the items divided by the amount of items you have equipped equals your power level. There's a whole Reddit post on that as well. So if you're curious, I guess I'll link it down on the bottom. But removing the support seal as of right now would effectively increase my combo damage. And it does, and it also increases my ultimate damage, but it's too big of a sacrifice for me doing luck, and I do plenty of damage as it is. And then the other big part of the build that I forgot to mention was the gear speed, basically the cooldown of Chaotic Rhyme. And we are trying to hit 68% gear speed or right bumper speed or Q speed. What's it? Right bumper? Basically, I want Chaotic Rhyme to be at 68% speed. So the Blast Seal gives me 20, my Gunslinger's Mark gives me 50, which puts me at 70%. So I don't technically need to get the gear cooldown consumable, but I use it because I'm using Ponder Infinity and I want to lower the cooldown as much as possible. So I'm going to do a GM3 free play, but before I do that, I usually go to the Academy Ruins. I'm going to do my consumables. So I use a gear speed. You can also use assault rifle, or fire is also really good because the passive fire damage from Realnir's Blaze after you combo and you have that fire damage procced on all of the enemies is really satisfying, and it's pretty good. But I'm going to be doing the Ice Sigil because I will require less Chaotic Rhyme hits in order for me to freeze and prime an enemy. And then I'm also going to be doing combo. So, make myself a combo sigil here, and then equip the combo sigil, and then I will get started. Alright team, so there is a public event starting, so I guess I will start my guide now. And the first thing is, I guess I'll show you how this build is supposed to work. Now, I am going solo on GM3, so I might die because I am a Storm, but hopefully I'll just be able to get these combos off and show you why I think this build is effective. I prime them, and I combo them. And then I prime them, and then I combo them. And prime, combo. And that is essentially it. The more enemies you prime, before you get your combo off. So let's get them with fire, prime them so that I can freeze a bunch of enemies here. So the more enemies that I prime and then hit them with my combo, I will get more ultimate. But since I'm almost dying, I'm going to use my ult to get rid of these ones here. And then I'll see if I can get if I can prime multiple enemies to show you how much more ultimate you get by landing combos on multiple enemies. But you fire them, you hit them, and then you ice them, and you hit them. Let's see if I can find some more dudes here. There's a couple here. So if I prime both of these guys, you get more ultimate than if you were to just prime. Oh, God. Oh, crap. Well, I ain't recording this again, so we're just going to sit here through this loading screen, and then I'm going to go right back to these dang scorpions. So that's basically the build, though. I mean, you prime them, and then you do your ult. I will show you a couple other things. I mean, that's about as simple as it gets. When you're running into enemies with shields, it doesn't matter if you're hitting their shields or if you're hitting them. I need to add here that when I mean shields, I mean the shields of like the Enforcer, and it also works with any parts of the Luminary. So if you're doing 0 damage, you're still going to proc the fire. So not actual blue shields, which Realnir's Blaze is really good for the blue shields as well. Every time it procs, it takes out like a third of their shield. Also, these birds take 2 shots from Chaotic Rhyme and they'll die, which is nice. But anyways, where is this one? Okay. Wrong way here. Okay, so let's see if I can prime up these guys to show you how much ultimate I'll get by landing a combo on 3 of them. that, about the same. But if I do it to 1, it's a little bit less. So maybe it has a cap, I don't know, but that's what I'm feeling. So another useful thing, so that's it. I'm going to show you how to be basically invincible with Storm. And if you're in a sticky situation and your health is low, there is a way that you can fly around until your shield comes back to where you don't take pretty much any damage. And that is by flying and dodging and then doing your air dodge from hovering. So you fly, dodge, hover, dodge, and then fly, dodge, hover, dodge. Hover, dodge, fly, dodge, hover, dodge. I'm gonna have to reload this. It's hard to talk and do it at the same time. I don't know how these Twitch streamers do it. Friggin' YouTube people. I bet they record it and then they record their voice over it and then they act like they're playing the game, but they're not really playing the game. They're just doing a voiceover. I bet that's what they're actually doing because this is hard. But anyways, okay. So it only takes 5 shots to from Realmer's Blaze to prime. And that's my build. That's it. Very simple. And then, oh, I'm in trouble. And just don't run into a wall, you'll survive. It's a lot easier with friends. Anthem is better with friends, but I don't have those, so I have to think of creative ways to not die in GM3. So, pretty much what I'm doing. Maximizing the damage here. I don't do strongholds personally because it's not worth my time. I think I've been finding a lot more legendaries and all that by just doing free play. And I found an effective enough build here that I can kind of solo GM3 and then have to party up. I don't have that. So building up my ultimate by comboing. Oh, and then another technique that I have is the melee. So you can melee enemies by just pressing your melee button, and it's actually really slow. Like the amount of frames that you use in order to melee and get your combo off is really, really time consuming. Considering that you're going to die in 5 seconds. But if you dodge first and then you melee, it comes out much, much faster. So I always make sure to dodge first before I melee. It takes some practice because the way it targets things is a little bit hard. And then sometimes you go too far. And this guy's just kind of not moving. I don't know what his deal is, but... ready. So let's see if I can round up these here scorpions and get an ult off. That was not rounding them up, and they just killed themselves. But they're coming around. They're coming around. There they are. All right, you guys. Okay. Forget that guy. I'm gonna go do this targeted scorpion. Hello, fella. Oh, this guy takes forever. Probably if I was any other class, it wouldn't take so long, but I'm alright with that. And typically when I'm focusing on these guys, it's pretty easy because the ones on the outside will mostly be frozen. By the time they unfreeze, they're... I'll have frozen them again by hitting the legendary with the combo. Just like that. And so after doing that one legendary, my ultimate is already halfway full, just by the sheer amount of combos that I've been doing. So it's pretty effective. It's a lot of fun. And that's it. So thanks everybody for watching. Let me know what you think. And Maybe I should finish this. I don't know if you guys want to see me finish this or not. It's probably going to take me forever. I thought I saw somebody who was here to help, but I guess they changed their mind. That's okay with me. Oh, it was birds. It was birds that were helping. Oh, and if you want to maximize your flight time, you can cancel your flight by hovering and then dashing and then flying again. There's a little bit of a cooldown, but you can constantly dash while hovering, and you get like an extra 2 seconds of flight, or 2 frames faster flying than if you were to just regularly fly. So that's fun. And I don't actually have the frame data. I was just exaggerating. There's still a scorpion that I have to kill here. If you guys can hear that plane, I'm sorry. But I'm not recording this again. You're just gonna have to deal with it. And then I'll open up this chest to see if I get any legendaries. That would be a great way to end this. Okay, I'm ending it now. This game sucks.